Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming, and thanks Creative Morning and Studio Banana to host us this morning. So we are in studio, composed of Laura Perrenoud, Marc Dubois, who couldn't join this morning, sadly, and myself, David Colombini. We're based in Les Ateliers de Renan, and we are a studio at the boundaries between art direction, creative programming, and interactive scenography. So I'm just going to start with a small, before going to the topic, I'm just going to show a small show reel of what some project we do.
Atmosphère glaciale.
So yeah, when Marta called me for regarding the topic of this talk, I was like, we're not specifically taking Surreal as a topic, but at the end, when we discussed, the three of us, about the talk, we were like, oh, actually there is quite a lot of similarity between some of our projects and this topic, so we decided to kind of create the talk in to divide it in 3 chapters. The first one called Surreal en français, Hyperreal, and the final one Surreal. So now I let Laura start with the first one, and so it's going to be a mix of reference, some of our projects, and kind of thought about these 3 main topics. Yeah.
Okay, so for the first part, we went back to the French, Surreal. I don't know if the English word comes from the French, but I guess it does. And so literally we just took it on top of real, and we asked ourselves, well, what on a project is on top of real? And so if we take reality as, if we assume it is what we perceive, then we add a lot of layers on perception on our project, and in this sense we do projects that are on top of reality. The first project I'm going to present, we did it last summer at the Natural History Museum in Neuchâtel. They had this exhibition, I think it's still ongoing, about North and South Poles. And we were asked to design, to enhance their staircase. When you enter the exhibition space, you go first in a room, and then you have this staircase that leads to the rest of the exhibition, and they wanted to have this as an introduction of the topic. And with them, we decided to work on the Ice Age and the period in betweens. And we divided, like, each step of the staircase is representing either an Ice Age or a warm period in between the Ice Ages. And the layer we added is, you have to figure that when you climb up the staircase, we transform it like climbing up through time. So you start a long time ago, and you climb up the stairs, and you arrive to today. And
yeah, we see it on the picture. The different each stairs correspond to a period of time. And
so each step has a poetic commentary on this period of time on it. I let you discover.
Chaleur inespérée,
chaleur subtile,
atmosphère glaciale,
fraîcheur immuable,
chaleur rassurante,
fraîcheur incertaine, agréable,
fraîcheur surprenante,
fraîcheur surprenante,
température.
So it's like one sensor, and just each stairs has a speaker, so it triggers the sound randomly.
Next project is also still ongoing, and it's been extended for a few more months. So if you go to Musée de l'Élysée, you can see it. It's part of our residency we're doing with Platform 10 to try to enhance museum experiments and discovery of artworks. And this proposal, we worked on a picture by Matthias Brugman. He mainly talks about the conflict in Syria. And this picture is more outside of the conflict, so it's two merchants that are sorting artifacts. And we created this device that tracks the eyes. And when you look at an element of the pictures, it will describe what you're looking at. So it's the photographer and a curator from Musée de l'Élysée that talks about the picture.
Donc à gauche de l'image, on voit deux objets qui peuvent paraître un peu inhabituels. Tout d'abord une Kalachnikov, qui est une Kalachnikov à crosse repliable, qui est propriété d'un des deux hommes qu'il a avec lui tout le temps quand il sort, pour éviter les enlèvements, enfin voilà, tout le monde est armé.
Les objets disposés sur le tapis forment deux plans sur lesquels la lumière semble s'accrocher. Ils équilibrent l'image avec leur couleur tonique.
Les paniers sont remplis de pièces et d'artefacts à des niveaux de nettoyage divers.
So when one sound is ending, then it's the next area of interest of the visitors that is triggered on the speakers. So it's really like a non-linear audio guide, if we can say so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the challenge was also to know when do we continue with the narration, because if we keep changing, then people will lose track of what they're looking at, and when do we change? So that was quite a challenge. We updated the project a lot during the ongoing exhibition, and we collected also a lot of data on how people were looking at artworks, what were they looking at first, and so we tried to give back those data to the public, and we installed, there is on the screen, so this is on the screen, you can see, so it's all the paths of the eyes, and then we put them all together in the middle. You can see that it's different data visualization of what they were looking at most, how long, etc. So we're still working with those data, but we try to give something back. And they ask us to continue with a new picture, so it's gonna stay for 3 more months, but with a new picture. And the next one is a project we did, it was 2 years ago, I think, I'm not sure. It was at EPFL Art Lab, which is an experimental museum space. And the first exhibition they had was about Pierre Soulages, the French painter, and he's really famous for his painting called Outre Noir, and he paints only with black paints. And what they asked us to explain to the audience with this piece was that when you walk in front of one of Pierre Soulages' painting, it's your position in the space that will completely change the perception you have on it, because of the angle the light will hit the painting. So they wanted us to create something where people will have to be forced to walk in front of the painting, and then they will understand that in the rest of the exhibition they should do the same with the other painting to be able to see all the variation of the light. And we designed a system with a tracking system, so if you walk in front of the painting, you will know the position. And so when you walk from left to right, for example, the light is going to shift slightly. But what we did is to enhance that, so when now you walk from left to right, it's going to shift a bit more than it would in reality. And it's the feeling that you would have walking in front of it would be if you were walking faster or further. So in this certain example, we are shifting a bit the perception of space, and we are augmenting an experiment that you would do anyway. And this was a way to make people understand that they could do that with the other pieces of the exhibition, but they would see it maybe more subtle, I would say.
Yeah, with these three projects Laura presented, we have seen that we add layers on top of reality, being it sound or the synesthesia between what you see and what you hear, and what was the last one? And here in that case, yeah, space. in the case space and light in the case of Pierre Soulages project. So now I'm going to switch to to another. Title, let's say, Hyperreal. So I'm just going to show you an inspiration video. Maybe some of you know it from a Japanese artist, of a glimpse of what Hyperreal could be, and then we're going to comment on it.
Más tarde, apúrate si quieres una buena calificación.
Voy lo más rápido que puedo.
¿Has pensado en correr? Es saludable y eficiente.
Seguro que no hay más trabajos disponibles. Yo estudié para ser profesora y estoy haciendo mercados.
Y además puedes quedarte con los puntos de fidelización. Eres una monje afortunada. Tienes que confiar en la aplicación. ¿Te sientes inspirada? Gracias. Chao.
¿Quién soy yo? No, eso no es lo que quiero decir. ¿Para dónde voy? No. ¿Puedo volver a empezar?
Yeah, you can watch the full video, or we can give you later if you're interested, because it becomes quite dark at the end, a bit like a Black Mirror episode. So hyperreality, according to this book, is the inability of consciousness to distinguish reality from a simulation of reality, and especially with our technological societies. Sorry, and so. We have some projects that could be related to that. One of it's a project we did for Camilla Lena, an artist, for the Swiss Art Award in Basel. And she asked us, she did a documentary on different people she met in Fribourg. And she's kind of following the life of these people. And then in between the more like traditional documentary film, she asked us to create like a simulation, a 3D video, where we filmed the different people in green screen and then add them into a fake, like kind of dreamy landscape of grass. So in that sense, it could be also, it's like this mix of filming someone real and adding it to a simulation or a 3D created landscape is kind of part of hyperreality. And so the video is evolving in different light, a bit also unreal light at the beginning. It's this kind of purple and so this part was included in the 20-minute film as three sequences. Yeah, this reminds also us one of, maybe you saw it, the Hang the DJ from Black Mirror, where like there is a coach, a bit like the future of Tinder. We hope not, but a coach that tell you who you're gonna meet and how long this kind of dating relationship gonna last. So, and at the end, you see that actually it's a simulation and the people are disappearing as a pixel in the sky. A bit cliche at the end, but it's also like this notion of we don't really know if it's like a simulation created by computers or the reality as we perceive it.
This brings us to another project, and this one is really funny because the first time we presented it was actually here, part of another conference. So we had the three different, so it's not very obvious on this picture, but it's chair that can rotate. And we didn't talk about it first, but Fragmentin is actually, so we are the same three people that working at INT, but this is our artistic practice. So it's self-initiated project. So we're also gonna present a few of those. And the topic we explore with Fragmentin is really also linked to what we explore with INT. And this piece started as a VR piece, so people, they come, it's for 3 participants, they sit on the chair, we put the headset, and they really think they're gonna do a VR experiment. So everything is set up, it's usually shown in exhibition where there is also other VR experiments, so they can assume, okay, it's just a normal VR experiment, I'm gonna see something really cool, it's gonna be amazing. And maybe I'm gonna just show you the video first, and then I keep explaining.
Well done. Look to the right. Look to the left. Nice choreography. I'm impressed. Left, right, down. Then faster. That's awesome.
So it comes out of a lot of ideas, but there was this idea that when you see a VR work in an exhibition, you always have to wait if it's successful. There's always a lot of people waiting, and you don't see much expect the people like wearing the headset, doing a bit like that, and you don't know what's going on, and it's a bit frustrating because after that you do the experiment, and usually it's not that incredible. Sometimes it is, but sometimes, let's be honest, VR is still at the beginning, so. And we were like, okay, what can we do with that? And yeah, let's make a little show. So let's also talk about what is VR. We can trick people into being in another universe, do stuff, etc. And so we were like, okay, how long are they gonna follow the instruction? Are we gonna be able to disorient them, make them think they're gonna go up or down because they're only rotating, but in the virtual world they're also going up and down. So we're playing around with their senses, and we also wait. Are they gonna remove the headset? Are they gonna be, what are you doing with me? What is this? Where is this going? And etc. And it's also a project about like control. How do you follow order when you're in an exhibition setup and people tells you to do that? How do you conform to that? And this can also brings us to the next chapter.
Yeah. So Surreal. A way to, this is something like a way to escape conformity and single mindset through dreams and imagination. So this brings us more to the Surrealist movement, which André Breton wrote this manifesto in 1924, which kind of take a bit the idea I just explained. And from there, it was one way, like Surrealism and this dreamful, imaginative world to go against the single mindset and against conformity. And probably you know we won't show like all the surrealist artists from back then, but like René Magritte was one of the famous one, together with Dali. And sorry, it's a joke from Marc. He's not there, but this is not a banana peel. It's kind of course, you know, this is not a pipe, and yeah, this one is like an advertising where they just take the famous approach of surrealism, and yeah, this is another project. I won't talk too much about it. It's more like, it's not directly linked to surrealism, but is this chair which is looked by a camera, and there is an algorithm that describes this chair. So it's again like a new way of seeing reality, which is not through human eyes or human thought, but through the reality of algorithm, which drive us to this project, which Laura will explain.
So this is a project we also did with Fragmentine a couple of years ago, 2016, if I'm correct. They had a big events happening in Zurich and all over the world for the 100th anniversary of Dada, which came before Surrealism, if I'm correct. And the idea was to explain a bit what this Dada movement was about. So at the time it was about fighting against war and big entities, and we tried to transpose this battle in our century. So the battle is not against war, but it would be more about the GAFAM now we can say, so the big corporation. And we were like, okay, what do they have against us? They have all our privacy, all our data, so we're just gonna fight them with that. So the experiment, you can see a little bit on the left. We took one of the puppets from Sophia.
I don't remember.
I don't remember the name. Sorry, she was a really famous
artist
artist
making puppets.
One of the only girls. Sorry. Maybe if someone knows, she makes a lot of puppets, and this one was against war, but we took it against Google, Apple, everybody, and the experiment was that you would play this puppet with it was a cardboard box, so the idea was to use like ready-made and to take things that already exist. So we had this cardboard box, and it was recognized by a camera, and you could drive the puppet, and you had to enter your name first, and it would look on Google every information that they had about you, and you would just destroy them one by one like this. So it was kind of shifting shaking the puppet and fighting against the big ones. So this was a cool project that we did a while ago, and during the same time it was exhibited, there was a lot of events going on. There was like hackathons and stuff. So we also wrote a Dada manifesto with code. He was using the fact that there is a programming language that works only with 2 letters, so it's like bytes, so 1 and 0s, and then it gets combined and you can read a letter. So this was a manifesto we wrote for that.
Yeah, and this idea of using surrealism or to kind of fight for conformism, we see it a bit nowadays with what we call filter bubbles. So it means like it's the way some of the algorithms make us see only through one angle online. So it means, let's say there is one example is what we listen, the music we listen on YouTube or Spotify always suggests you the same type of music. Let's say if you love hip hop, you're gonna listen for ages to hip hop. Same for other things. So it's kind of leaving you in your old world, as you see in the picture on the right. Yeah, there is a few possibilities, like billions of possibilities in the world, but you only see what this algorithm leave you in your what we call filter bubble. And this drives us to another Fragmentine project called the Weather Followers, which is like a sculpture, a weather sculpture that records weather data. And according to the data, to these weather data, which are chaotic and we have no control of it, it's affecting, it brings serendipity to your digital life. So one example, I talked before about the way we listen to music online. So with this sculpture connected to a web app, you see in the middle, the music you listen through the web app is let's say it's chosen by the rain. So on the left you see a rain sensor, and depending on the rain rhythm, it will play different sound from Spotify. So it's using the Spotify API and kind of hack it. So let's say if it's a storm, you can listen to drum and bass like super quick, because it's basically recording the raindrop per minute and it match it to the BPM. So that's a project I did 2017, which is now a fragmenting project. And yes, so it's like a way to go out of your filter bubble using the chaos of the weather. And Laura, you want to finish? Or?
Yeah, I can finish. So we put this artwork because it was also related to Dada and Surrealism. But this is the next project we're coming up for MUDAC. So it's the following of the residency we have with Platform 10. And it's going to be on view soon. And they have all this collection of glass pieces or sculpture that they're not always showing. Most of them are always in storage. And when they exhibited the pieces, we cannot never see underneath. We cannot see if there is something under the piece, or you cannot like turn it, touch it, etc. And we came with a new way to see those pieces. And the idea was to scan a few of their pieces in the collection and to have a kind of small replica that you would be able to play with. So good quality replica, and then on the screen you can navigate, discover the piece, etc. We're still working on it, but this is like a sneak peek of what you're going to be able to discover at MUDAC.
It's going to open end of March. And it's like at Élysée we developed the things about about sight and sound, and here is more going to be about touch and also the three-dimensional way, not only the 2D. And I think it's going to be fun. Thanks for your attention.